Today in Cannabis News, while cannabis legalization discussions for the special session proceed, Rhode Island state legislators unite behind a cannabis equity strategy. Organizers in the state of Wyoming start collecting signatures for 2022 proposals to legalize cannabis, and a prominent U.S. federal financial regulator criticizes Congress's lack of action on cannabis and pushes for an interagency cannabis financial task force. It's Monday, September 13th, and this is your Trichomes Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the Trichomes.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, a band of Rhode Island state legislators is uniting behind a number of core equity tenets they want to have in cannabis legalization laws, and they're encouraging their peers to call a special session to carry out their plans. According to several legislators and liberal advocates with Reclaim Rhode Island, the bills as written do not go far enough to rectify the damages of the failed war on drugs and foster social equity. Recently, the group held a media briefing outside of the State House to promote their structural reforms, with politicians advocating for a special session to tackle legalization thoroughly and expeditiously. Reclaim Rhode Island members have listed what they view to be critical components of any eventual legalization bill. This includes immediate expungement of previous cannabis offenses, allocating 50% of cannabis company permits to social equity candidates and 25% to worker-owned co-ops, and mandating cannabis employees to join unions. Generally, legislators tried to support equity in their differing initiatives last session, but none of them went as far as advocates wanted. However, the organization's marijuana justice statement has been signed by 15 lawmakers thus far.
Next up, organizers in the state of Wyoming are ramping up their efforts to obtain signatures for ballot measures to legalize medical cannabis and decriminalize the possession of cannabis in 2022, campaigning over the weekend to increase backing. The Secretary of State's office officially provided petition sheets last week, weeks after the state attorney general published ballot descriptions for the initiatives. During the weekend, activists staged signature collecting events in 7 locations around the state. The effort, which has the assistance of the National Libertarian Party and Wyoming NORML, submitted the required 100 preliminary sponsorship signatures to the Secretary of State last month, before the Attorney General's office fully certified it. To appear on the ballot, campaigners must gather 41,776 signatures needed from eligible voters. They must submit sufficient signatures by February of next year to get on the November 2022 ballot, or else they'll have to wait until January 2023 to appear in the next election.
Last up, a board member and once chairperson of the U.S. National Credit Union Administration has slammed Congress for struggling to modernize cannabis laws. And they revealed that they will make efforts to pressure legislators to implement new policies that will aid financial institutions and stockholders entangled in the federal versus state cannabis quagmire. Rodney Hood of the NCUA, an independent federal organization that insures credit union deposits, at a cannabis business conference remarked that they're concerned that the legal and regulatory infrastructure surrounding the cannabis industry is not evolving quickly enough, and that governmental inactivity is the reason why. They also stated that they believe federal legalization is a foregone conclusion. To close the policy void, Hood wants to form an interagency task force of federal financial regulatory authorities to create a principles-based approach to cannabis banking and deliver a preliminary regulatory framework that we can share with other regulators and members of Congress who share our concern about addressing these problems. Hood wouldn't endorse any specific legislative proposals, though they did mention the Secure and Fair Enforcement Banking Act in their statements. And they said Congress must successfully harmonize national and state cannabis statutes so that the sector isn't hindered and banking firms don't have to worry about being reprimanded for servicing cannabis companies.
That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit trichomes.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech in Cannabis, or the International Cannabis Conversation wherever you get your podcasts. For trichomes.com, I'm RJ Balde.
And I'm Devin Liao. Have a great day.